Problems of cultivating calcareous soil. The first is crust formation. What's the meaning of crust formation? The formation of crust is a problem of carbonate-rich soil which are under soils which are under cultivation. The problem of crust that may prevent seed to germinate and may prevent plant growth or seeds growth. What meant by crust formation? When you irrigate the calcareous soil and let it to reach dryness, you will observe a crust of calcium carbonate like this photo. A hard crust on the surface of the soil, of the calcareous soil. So this crust is a problem of calcareous, a very important problem of calcareous soil. That is, what happened actually is when you irrigate, the calcium carbonate partially dissolved in water to a form of hydrogen carbonate, and when dryness occurring, the calcium carbonate moves upward to the surface and water evaporate while calcium carbonate accumulate on the surface to form the crust on the as on the screen, as you see on the screen. When you put the soil to dryness, the crust form and take the cracks like on the screen. These starting crust formation. So another photo of crust is this and this different type of crust formation on calcareous soil under dryness. The second problem of calcareous soil is hard pan formation. The calcium carbonate, when you irrigate the water, the calcium carbonate dissolved and converted to calcium hydrogen carbonate. This calcium bicarbonate moves to the deeper horizon and then precipitate when the water is go out or evaporate, or the water may be absorbed by plant. Then the calcium bicarbonate precipitate in the form of calcium carbonate and accumulate step by step to form a hard pan like the following photo. If you look here, when you irrigate the soil, the calcium carbonate partially dissolved and precipitate on the front of the water, on where the water is dry or the water is ended here. The calcium carbonate precipitate accumulate on where the water stopped, and then accumulate step by step to form a hard pan like this, or hard pan like this. Look here, if you irrigate more water, then the hard pan formed in a deeper location. So how to prevent this? By deep plowing. You have to bring a strong machine and make a deep plowing to to prevent forming hard pan on calcareous soil. How we prevent crust formation? By irrigation, by let the irrigation intervals short. يعني irrigate subsequently each 2 days, each 1 day if you are using drip or sprinkler irrigation. You have to use modern irrigation here in calcareous soil because the water may lost because the calcareous soil is alike a little bit sandy soil, so the water lost and leached away from the rhizosphere or soil profile, so you have to use modern irrigation like sprinkler or drip irrigation. Okay, prevent this by let the irrigation interval narrow. Prevent this by making hard pan by making deep plowing. The third problem, I'm talking about the problem of calcareous soil. The first is crust formation. The second is hard pan formation. The third is ammonia volatilization. Due to the high pH on calcareous soil, the high pH let the ammonium ion converted to ammonia gas and water. So if you put the urea, for example, or ammonium sulfate as a source of nitrogen, the ammonium sulfate dissolved in water and ionized to ammonium ion. The ammonium ion in the presence of OH, as we said that the soil solution on calcareous soil has a high pH, and I explain why, because the presence of calcium carbonate. So these OH and ammonia and ammonium produce ammonia and water. Ammonia volatilized and lost from the soil, and the plant can't benefit from it. The fourth problem in calcareous soil is precipitation of soluble phosphate and micronutrient. Phosphate usually precipitate in calcareous soil in the form of calcium phosphate. Furthermore, micronutrients like zinc, manganese, iron, and so on are also precipitated in the form zinc carbonate or metal carbonate, like the following, like these equations. If there is calcium and phosphate, if you put phosphate, there is a plenty of calcium on calcareous soil. It is react to produce calcium phosphate, which is precipitate and usually unavailable for plant growth. The plant can't uptake this because it is precipitate and not dissolved in water, have low solubility. Zinc also precipitate because there is a carbonate. Zinc react with carbonate to produce zinc carbonate and precipitate. The other nutrient also react with carbonate like iron and manganese and precipitate in the form of carbonate. How we can filterize the calcareous soil? How make filtration in general? You know that we have a problem that the most nutrients are become unavailable. How to add these filterizer to the soil? In general, modern irrigation methods are used to irrigate calcareous soil. Modern irrigation like sprinkler or drip irrigation in order to reduce water loss when surface irrigation used. Uh, how you can add macronutrient? Generally advised to add macronutrients to the leaf directly, and the leaf can absorb the nutrient. Instead, adding these nutrients to soil and may precipitate in the form of carbonate. So these method called foliar filterizers. Foliar filterizer mean adding nutrient directly to the leaf in the form of solution, and the leaf can absorb the solution contain macronutrient. The third is adding phosphorus with irrigation water, which called fertigation, in the form of phosphoric acid. Why phosphoric acid? Because the condition in calcareous soil is alkaline, and you need to decrease the pH. So you usually it's preferred to use phosphorus in the form of phosphoric acid H3PO4. This acid can clean the pipelines if there is precipitation of calcium carbonate. The acid reacts with calcium carbonate precipitate in the pipelines and dissolve it. The second benefit is the sulfuric acid when enter to the soil, it's dissolve. It is not precipitate directly, but it takes some times because it has acid and will react some with calcium carbonate until the reaction is finalized. During this process carrying out, the plant can uptake more phosphorus or its need from phosphorus. However, if you add, for example, potassium monohydrogen phosphate, its solubility less than orthophosphoric and it precipitates faster than orthophosphoric acid. So it's a very important method in adding phosphorus fertilizers. The fourth problem or fertilizers is nitrogenous fertilizer. Usually avoid adding nitrate in calcareous soil because most of nitrate are lost. Nitrogen in the form nitrate are lost by leaching with to the drainage water. It's preferred to add nitrogen in the form ammonium sulfate, or urea. Although these two types will produce ammonium, which may be volatilized in the form of ammonia. However, it is preferred to use and cover these two fertilizer if added with soil to prevent volatilization. It's lost by these two type of fertilizers lost by volatilization less than the losing of nitrogen by leaching if added in the form of nitrate. Okay, this is the fertilization in calcareous soil. This photo show you how they add foliar filterization, or if there is pesticide also can be added like in calcareous soil. Organic soil is the soil which has organic horizon